Have you ever had one of those nights where you lie in bed, tired, but your mind just won't stop talking? You close your eyes, but suddenly every thought you tried to ignore during the day comes marching back. Old memories, regrets, worries about tomorrow, things you wish you'd said or done differently. It's like your brain decides now's the perfect time for a meeting. You stare at the ceiling, listening to the quiet hum of the night, and you think, why can't I just stop thinking and fall asleep? If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. In fact, most people, especially as we get older, find it harder to switch off at night. The mind gets louder when the world grows quiet. And here's something I've learned. It's not age that steals our sleep. It's the weight of the thoughts we refuse to put down. So tonight, before you close your eyes, I want to invite you to let go of just one thing. The one thing that keeps your mind from truly resting. We'll talk about what that one thing really is, why it keeps us awake, and how to release it gently so that your mind and your heart can finally rest. By the end of this conversation, I hope you'll feel lighter, calmer, and ready for the kind of deep, peaceful sleep that feels like being wrapped in quiet kindness. Take a deep breath with me. In and out. Now, let's begin. You see, as we move through life, we collect thoughts the way the sea collects shells. Some are beautiful, but some are sharp, and we keep holding them even when they start to cut. That's the first thing we need to understand. Sometimes we carry thoughts that no longer serve us. Maybe it's something someone said years ago that hurt you, and it still echoes when the house is quiet. Maybe it's guilt over something you wish you had done differently, a moment you replay again and again, hoping somehow it'll change. Or maybe it's just worry. Worry about your health, your family, your future. It's normal. It's human. But these thoughts, left unchecked, start to feel like heavy luggage we drag into bed every night. And you can't fall asleep peacefully when you're still holding on to the weight of yesterday. So what is that one thing we need to let go of? It's mental tension, the habit of holding on to thoughts that no longer deserve space in your mind. And I don't mean forcing yourself to think positive or pretending problems don't exist. No, I mean giving yourself permission to set the heavy things down just for tonight. Let's take an example. Imagine you're walking through your home carrying a bag of groceries. It's heavy and your hands ache, but you keep walking around holding it, even though you could just put it down on the counter. That's what we do with our worries. We carry them longer than we need to. You can't solve every problem before sleep. You can't fix every situation in the middle of the night. But you can choose peace for a few hours. And that choice makes all the difference. Tonight, when you lie down, I want you to try this small exercise. Picture yourself standing beside a calm lake at sunset. The air is soft and the sky is fading into gold and blue. In your hand, you're holding a small stone. That stone is one thought that's been bothering you today. Maybe it's frustration, maybe it's sadness. Now imagine gently tossing it into the lake, watching the ripples spread and fade. That's the moment of release. You haven't erased the problem. You've simply told your mind, not now. I'll come back to it when the sun rises. For now, I rest. That's the first step, letting go for the night. Now, some people might say, that sounds nice, but I can't just stop thinking. And they're right. The goal isn't to stop thinking, it's to soften the thoughts. When your mind starts spinning, try noticing it like you would watch clouds drifting by. You don't chase them, you don't fight them, you just let them pass. Say quietly to yourself, I don't need to solve this tonight. I don't need to replay this story again. I am safe to rest. You'll be surprised how your body responds when your mind hears those words. Your breath slows, your shoulders loosen, and suddenly that racing train of thought begins to slow down. Because rest isn't something you force, it's something you allow. And maybe tonight, the most powerful thing you can do is simply allow yourself to rest. You've earned it. Think about how much you've lived, how much you've given, how much you've seen. You don't owe anyone constant worry. You don't have to earn your peace. It already belongs to you. So, when you lie in bed tonight, don't fight your thoughts. Don't scold your mind for being restless. Just whisper, it's okay. I'm listening, but now I'm resting. That small act of kindness to yourself can change the way you fall asleep. And here's the truth. Sleep doesn't come to a busy mind, it comes to a gentle one. When you let go of tension, you make space for peace to enter. If your thoughts wander again, and they will, bring them back softly. Imagine them as leaves floating on a stream. You watch them drift by, but you don't pick them up. It takes practice, but every night you do this, it becomes easier. It becomes familiar. And soon, your mind will start to recognize this quiet as home. Before we move into the next part, I want you to remember one thing. Letting go doesn't mean giving up. It means trusting that rest has value, that your mind, like your body, heals in stillness. So tonight, as you prepare for bed, take a moment to think of one thing, just one, that you can set down. Maybe it's a regret. Maybe it's a conversation that didn't go well. Maybe it's that endless what if about tomorrow. Whatever it is, tell yourself, I'll carry you again in the morning if I must. But for tonight, you rest too. Now that we've talked about how to start letting go and calming your thoughts, in the next part, we'll go deeper into what happens inside the mind when we hold on too tightly and how to train your thoughts to bring peace instead of pressure. So take another slow breath. You're doing beautifully. Let's continue this journey together. You know, there's something fascinating about the mind. It's like a guest that never stops talking. Even when we try to sleep, it keeps chattering about the past, about tomorrow, about everything we could have done differently. But here's the thing. Most of that noise isn't useful. It's not new information. It's just repetition. The same thoughts spinning around and around like clothes in a washing machine. When we hold on too tightly to those thoughts, it's not because we enjoy them, it's because the mind thinks it's helping. It believes that if it keeps thinking, maybe it'll find a solution. But most of the time, it's just wearing itself out. Let me tell you something I once heard from a meditation teacher. He said, the mind is like a child holding a flashlight, trying to see in the dark. It wants to help, but sometimes it just shines the light into your eyes instead. And that's exactly what happens when we don't know how to rest mentally. We blind ourselves with our own thoughts. So let's look at how we can gently guide that restless mind toward calm. Not by fighting it, but by retraining it. The first thing you can do is this: teach your mind what safety feels like. When we were younger, maybe falling asleep came naturally. But as life got busier, as worries grew louder, our minds started associating nighttime with thinking time. To change that, we have to remind the mind that it's safe to let go. Here's something simple you can try tonight. When you lie in bed, before closing your eyes, place your hand gently on your chest. Feel your heartbeat, feel the rise and fall of your breath, and quietly say to yourself, I am here. I am safe. I don't need to figure everything out right now. It might feel small, needing safety for your thoughts to soften. Now that we've talked about calming the body and signaling safety, let's move to something equally important: forgiveness. And no, I don't mean forgiveness in the big, dramatic sense. I mean the quiet, everyday forgiveness, the kind you give yourself before sleep. You see, we all carry little self-judgments. Maybe you forgot something today. Maybe you snapped at someone. Maybe you looked in the mirror and felt unkind to yourself. Those small judgments build up, like dust on a window. And when you go to sleep with those thoughts, it's like trying to rest under a blanket made of guilt. Before you close your eyes tonight, try whispering this simple phrase: I forgive myself for not being perfect. I did the best I could with what I had today. You'll be amazed how that one sentence changes the energy in your mind. It's like unclenching a fist you didn't know was tight. Forgiveness clears the path for rest, because rest isn't just physical, it's emotional. When your heart is at peace with yourself, sleep becomes a natural friend again. Think of your mind like a garden. You can't plant new seeds of peace if the soil is still full of old thorns. Forgiveness is how you gently remove them, one by one. And remember, forgiving doesn't mean forgetting. It just means you've decided not to let that thought keep you awake anymore. Now that we've talked about calming the mind and forgiving yourself, let's move to one more powerful practice: gratitude. Gratitude might sound simple, but it's one of the most effective ways to shift your mind out of worry and into peace. When you focus on what's missing, your mind stays restless. But when you focus on what's here, what's working, what's still beautiful, even in small ways, the tension begins to fade. Before sleep, try naming 3 things you're grateful for. They don't have to be big. In fact, the smaller, the better. Something like, I'm grateful for my warm blanket. I'm grateful for the sound of the rain outside. I'm grateful that my body carried me through another day. As you think of each one, feel it. Let your body remember that moment of comfort or warmth. This isn't just a nice idea, it's science. When you express gratitude, your brain releases calming chemicals that lower stress and ease you into sleep. And there's something even deeper. Gratitude reminds your mind that not everything needs fixing. There are things right here, right now, that are already okay. You see, so many sleepless nights come from the illusion that something's missing. We think, I need to solve this first. I need to know what will happen. I need to understand why. But gratitude whispers, you already have enough for peace right now. So if your thoughts begin to race tonight, pause and say quietly, Right now, I am safe. Right now, I have enough. Right now, I can rest. Let those words settle in your mind like warm tea. And if you wake up in the middle of the night, which happens to many of us, don't fight it. Don't get frustrated. Just return to those 3 small things you're grateful for. One thought of gratitude can silence 100 thoughts of worry. As you continue this nightly habit, calming the body, forgiving yourself, and finding gratitude, your mind begins to trust sleep again. It learns that night is no longer the time for fear or planning, it's the time for healing. And soon that moment when you lie down won't feel like a battle between rest and worry. It'll feel like coming home. So tonight, let's practice together. Take a deep breath in. And out. So far, we've talked about calming the mind, forgiving yourself, and finding gratitude before sleep. These small acts, practiced nightly, slowly retrain the mind to associate bedtime, not with worry, but with peace. Now, let's go one step deeper. Because even when we manage our thoughts, sometimes the body still remembers what the mind is trying to let go of. That's why, before you sleep, it's so important to also release the tension you hold in your body. Have you ever noticed how your shoulders stay tight even when you're lying down? Or how your jaw clenches without you realizing it? That's your body holding on to the stress your mind hasn't processed yet. So here's something you can try tonight. Something very simple but deeply effective. Lie on your back, take a slow breath in through your nose, and exhale softly through your mouth. Now, as you breathe out, gently tell your body, let go. Feel your shoulders melt into the bed. Let your jaw soften, your hands relax, your stomach release. Imagine your body like a sponge, and with every breath out, you're squeezing out the tension of the day. You don't need to force relaxation, you just need to invite it. You can even say quietly, it's okay to rest now. Sometimes people think relaxation is a luxury, something you earn after the work is done. But the truth is, rest is the work. It's what keeps your body and mind balanced enough to keep living well. When you release tension in your body, your mind naturally follows. It's like your body tells your brain, we're safe now. You can stop thinking. And that's when sleep comes easily, not because you forced it, but because you've created the space for it to happen. Now that we've covered letting go of mental tension, emotional guilt, and physical stress, there's one final piece I want to share: trust. Letting go, in the end, is an act of trust. It's trusting that life doesn't fall apart just because you're not worrying about it for a few hours. It's trusting that you've done enough for today, that the world can manage while you rest. Many of us, especially as we get older, feel like we need to stay alert all the time. We worry about our loved ones, our health, our responsibilities. We've spent a lifetime taking care of others, so the idea of letting go can feel almost wrong. But rest is not neglect, it's renewal. It's how you refill the cup you've spent all day pouring from. So tonight, when you feel that familiar urge to keep thinking, to plan, to analyze, to fix, just whisper, I trust that what's meant for me will wait until morning. Let that be your final thought before you drift off. If you wake up during the night, don't see it as a problem. See it as a chance to practice peace again. Take a breath, relax your body, and remind yourself, I am still safe. I can still rest. Your sleep doesn't have to be perfect to be healing. Even short moments of genuine calm give your mind and heart the rest they crave. You see, the goal isn't to have an empty mind, it's to have a peaceful one. And peace doesn't mean nothing happens. It means you're no longer disturbed by what happens. When you wake up tomorrow morning, I want you to do something very small. Before you reach for your phone, before you check the clock, take one deep breath and thank yourself. Thank yourself for showing up here tonight, for choosing peace over pressure, and for learning the gentle art of letting go. Because every time you practice this, calming your thoughts, forgiving yourself, relaxing your body, and trusting life, you're building something beautiful, a peaceful mind that knows how to rest. And that peace doesn't just stay in your bedroom. It spills into your mornings, your conversations, your outlook. You'll notice you react differently, more softly, more kindly. And that's the beauty of true rest. It changes how you live, not just how you sleep. So before we finish tonight, let's take one last moment together. Close your eyes if you can. Breathe in slowly, hold it for a moment, and exhale gently. Now say quietly, I have done enough for today. I have thought enough for today. I am allowed to rest. Let those words stay with you as you drift off. Because sometimes peace doesn't come from doing more. It comes from finally allowing yourself to stop. And if this message spoke to you, I want you to remember something simple but powerful. Small changes create big peace. You don't have to transform your entire life overnight. You just need to make tiny, consistent choices to breathe, to forgive, to let go, one evening at a time. You've spent your life giving to others. Now it's time to give something back to yourself. Rest, kindness, and peace of mind. Before you go, I'd love to hear from you. What helps you let go at night? Do you pray, meditate, listen to music, or just sit quietly? Share your thoughts in the comments. Your experience might comfort someone else who needs it. And if this message helped you feel a little calmer, please tap the like button. It really supports the channel and helps others find this message too. Don't forget to subscribe for more gentle talks like this, reflections about peace, aging gracefully, emotional healing, and living with purpose at any age. We're building a small, peaceful corner of the internet here, a place where you can breathe, think, and feel seen. And you're part of that. So tonight, as you turn off the light, remember, you don't need to carry everything with you. You don't need to fix it all before you rest. You just need to let go and trust that tomorrow will take care of itself. Here's to you, to your strength, your softness, your journey. Here's to peaceful nights, gentle mornings, and the quiet confidence of knowing you've done enough. Good night, my friend. Sleep well. And here's to living your best, calmest life at any age.